morning, everyone. This is Dr. Naveen Dixit, and I'm an associate professor of horticulture at UMES. I work on both row crops and specialty crops. This is one of my new adventures, and a lot of challenges with regard to this crop. And let me tell you one interesting thing first. I am trying so hard to rightly pronounce the name of this crop. I was trying it on Google, and he said, hey, this is not pomegranate, ba, you are speaking ba. So throughout my presentation, I will call it Punica granatum instead of the common name. Okay, so let's see. Punica granatum acreage in the United States. California is the #1 state with 782 farms and more than 34,000 acreage. Texas, 160, Arizona, and look, our Delmarva Peninsula. There are only 3 farms in Maryland and only 2 in Virginia and nothing in Delaware. Interesting thing here is, if you will see under California, 782 farms, more than 50% of these farms, they cultivate pomegranate only and only in less than 1 acre of area. That means there is an opportunity. If you have only very small acreage, like 1 to 5, one can easily grow, because 50% farms in California, they are just using 1 acre of acreage to grow this crop. And I looked, where are these 3 farms located in Maryland? These are secret farms. Where are these? So they are in Montgomery County, and I don't know where they are, but through the latest USDA Census of Agriculture 2022, I am able to find out, oh, they are in Montgomery County.
I live next to Montgomery County.
Yeah, that's the latest USDA data.
I see.
So, and there is no information given because of very low production or low acreage. So this is the potential. So opportunity is there. Regarding the sales in California, last year it is $160 million, 16% increase in comparison to 2022. 3 major outlets for this crop. Trinity Corporation in Fresno, California. Then this is everywhere. Palm Wonderful is LA based. And then John Vanna Incorporation is based in Philadelphia. So this is the important thing. So we have a buyer in Philadelphia near to us. And this company basically from where they are acquiring palm fruits. So look here, in December they got it from California. And then in March they imported from Israel. And then in June they imported from Peru. So again, there is the opportunity. We can grow cold hardy pomegranate in our area. Look here, these farms are importing from, in fact, other countries. Import in the United States, you can see here how the import is increasing consistently since 2015. So more than $977 million worth of fresh pomegranate was imported in 2023. Then the value in terms of pounds, you can see more than 800 million pounds were imported. So United States rank is 2nd or 3rd throughout the global. So we are the 2nd or 3rd. Why 2nd or 3rd? Because it does keep changing every year with respect to Holland. Sometimes Holland holds the 2nd rank, but UAE is the #1 importer throughout the world. And most of the import in United States is from India, Panama, Laos, and new countries are added each year. So demand, so you can see why is the demand. According to the Vice President of Trinity Corporation, more than 50% of US population never enjoyed a pomegranate. So there is an opportunity we can provide to our folks. Hey, look, there is a crop like pomegranate exist. And these companies, they're also branding this crop as a superfood, fruit packed with antioxidants, highest content of antioxidant. And now our folks or people, they're also aware of health and wellness nowadays. So you have this crop, wonderful fruit. And in the market, they are available in major superstores. And look here, just 750 ml is almost worth $10. So we can provide fresh fruit if we start growing pomegranate in our area. Number of products, if you will type in Google, pomegranate products, there is an endless list. So people are just making powder, preparing juice, concentrates, organic Pomegranates available, conventional available, people are using for food and beverages, confectionery, dairy, bakery, condiments, pharmaceuticals, making creams, so like cosmetics. So pomegranate is everywhere. Nutritional value, look here, such a wonderful crop. 100-gram raw fruit, just only 83 calories. And look here, lipid just 1.17 gram per 100 gram fresh weight. Another important thing for athletes, potassium content is almost 236 milligram per 100 gram. For diabetic people, look here, sodium content is just 3 milligram per 100 gram of fruit. If you'll enjoy 100 gram of fresh fruit, that will give you a filling sensation. And look here, all type of vitamins here, thiamine, vitamin C, riboflavin, niacin, pantothenic acid, vitamin B, list keep going. So that's why they are projecting, hey, this is a wonderful fruit packed with antioxidant, it's a super fruit, so enjoy it. And look here, each and every part of this tree is important. Chemical compounds present in peel, juice, root, bark, flower, leaf, seed. You have tannins, polyphenols, alkaloids, steroids, amino acids, essential oils, flavonoids. So entire tree is useful, even the flowers are useful. And okay, more than 100,000 research papers already published on the pharmaceutical role of pomegranate. In medicine, look here, Alzheimer's disease, aging, diabetes, coronary heart disease, cancer, AIDS, inflammation, male infertility. There are so many roles pomegranate fruit or juice is playing for the improvement in health. So let's talk about origin. Origin is from Persia, it's Iran. The origin of center is Iran. And in addition to that, there are large number of countries where we grow: India, Turkey, China, Spain, USA, Morocco. Long list, but the 76% of the world production is from India, Iran, Turkey, China, and the USA. World acreage is more than 750,000. World production is more than 6 billion pounds of pomegranate each year. Pom means apple, granate means grain, so initially they think it's an apple with the seeds. Let's talk about botany. So scientific name is Punica granatum. And there are two species. One is granatum, other is Punica, Proto-Punica. It's a long name. So order is myrtles, just like myrtle crepe, the fruit tree, the flower trees. Family is Lythraceae. Chromosome number, diploid is 16 or 18. It's a subtropical fruit. Fruit type is balusta, and edible part is the aril. The aril is just whatever the tissue covers the seed is enjoyable. Even, in fact, one can chew the seeds also. There is no problem. It will help in, if someone has constipation, there you go. Enjoy the seeds of pomegranate. And they are not even astringent. One can easily chew. They're tasty. Most important thing here is this is a non-climacteric fruit. That means you have to pick the fruits when they are already ripened on the tree. So they will not ripe if you will pick early. So that will be a trouble. So one have to learn when to pick. Okay, can we cultivate in Maryland? Why not? So climate zone, we can grow it in zone 7 to 10. So our zone is 7B, so not a problem. It can tolerate low temperature up to 10 degree Fahrenheit or minus 11.11 centigrade. This crop loves high temperature. High temperature is not a problem if you are providing sufficient amount of irrigation. So look here, it can tolerate easily 100 degree Fahrenheit or 38 degree centigrade. So higher the temperature, sweeter is pomegranate fruit. Soil should be well drained, loam, sandy loam, but that doesn't mean it can also grow on clay.
It can grow in clay.
Yes, there is no problem.
That's it. That's good.
Yeah. And another good thing is this, salt tolerance. For example, if the EC of the soil is 5 decisimon, corn will not grow. If it is above 8 or 10, soybean will not grow. And this guy, look here, this tree is happy in 50 decisimon. So there are several varieties which are salt tolerant. And everybody knows due to global climate change, seawater intrusion, especially in Delaware, most of the land have sea salt patches. So we can use this tree to reclaim those abundant areas. So fruit development love hot and dry condition. These are the name of the varieties tested, I think 5 or 6 years ago, and they all are tolerant to salt. Even it can grow in slightly acidic condition, 5.5 to 7.2. So last year we got 100, not 100, initially last year we got 60 varieties or 60 accessions from USDA. And this year we got 79 accessions, so total we have 139 varieties of pomegranate at University of Maryland Eastern Shore. So these are some of the names. These names are look Persian language like Hakutaka. We got from Japan, India, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Soviet Union. So we got varieties from most of the places. And our target is where these plants or these varieties actually receives low temperature. Because our climate is, we got very chilly winter and too much cold here. So these are the name of different varieties. So you can see here Suro Anor. So actually in Persia they call pomegranate Anar. So people generally use those names. Okay. And some are, for example, how sweet it is, pink, May. And we also got many varieties from California. Okay. So Kara Gul, these are like Balkan, Utah Sweet. So we have so many varieties to test at UMES. So basically these are the Azerbaijan, Pakistan, Iran. So these are, even Japan, we got some accessions. So this is what we did last year. So we got 60 varieties. We planted them on March of the 7th. So we received them as a 9 to 12 inches long sticks. And important thing is these sticks were actually 1 year old. And that means last year's growth. 3 nodes inside the soil. Why we trying fixing more nodes under the soil? Because nodes are the area from where root evolves or adventitious root evolves. So we are providing more chance to these sticks to produce more roots. We got 79 varieties this year, so next week we will plant them. We simply use rooting hormone. Even if you will not use root hormone, there is no problem. In the soil there are bacteria which produce indole acetic acid or the rooting hormone. So it's up to you. If you want to use. We simply use topsoil. If you will review in literature, they will talk about use perlite and vermiculite and this and that. If you have topsoil, there is no problem. All the buds easily breaks here, you can see here. So 21 days after planting, you can see in variety 1, we have bud break takes place. Similarly here in V2, but look here in V3, after 44 days bud break. So there is a variation. Sometimes you will have bud break within 3 weeks, sometimes even after 44 days, or you can 7 weeks, there is nothing. And look here, there is nothing after even 44 days. So 6 weeks, there is no bud break. So that is, I don't know, that character is dependent on the variety or cultivar. And this is how the 44 days. So most of the varieties, they show number of branches. Here is, after 7 months, most of these varieties, they reaches from 2 feet to 4 feet in height. And the number of branches varies from 5 to 12. So they grow very well by the September. Oh, some of the varieties, they flower very late. Actually, they flower around September. So we have to screen out such type of varieties because October, November, we have cold season. These flowers will finally upsize and die. So that's why we have so large number of varieties to screen for our area. So in October, look here, these are the flowering and fruit is developing. It's of no use for us. Okay. So this is how they look like after 1 year. This February 17th, 2024 of this year. All the buds, they break and plants are growing beautifully and they are ready to transfer into the field. So these are actually 2-year-old plants. So flowering and fruiting. So if you want to propagate pomegranate using seed, it will take 3 years for fruiting, but avoid it because seeds are the outcome of sexual reproduction. So the future plant may be entirely different from the parent. So just don't use the seed method for propagation. Propagation by hardwood cuttings. So if you are using hardwood, 1-year-old hardwood, so you can got fruits or flowering within the 2 years. These trees will mature for commercial production by 5 to 7 years. And look here, once you planted, the life is more than 200 years. So it's only the initial year. If you can take care of this tree will take care of you for next 200 years. And in some review of literature, the age is 300 years. So 200 years, I'm just reserving by telling the 200 years.
How big do they get?
Height. Oh, they can reach up to 15 to 20 feet. We will come to that. So fruit harvest generally takes place between September to October. So that's good. Our first frost, sometimes we observed it in November. Flowering April to June, so there may be a consistent flowering from April to June, or you may have different flushes. So that is also a good thing if you have different flushes, because sometimes we get frost during the first week of May. So that's good actually. That's why so these are the commercial varieties available in United States. One can easily purchase. I'm not doing any advertisement. So look here, the zone is 6 to 10, zone 6, and most of here, zone 7. So I purchase all these varieties for my home just to see how they perform. They are claiming zone 6, right? Okay, we are in zone 7B. So this is how they look. I planted 15 varieties at my home last year in June. Then yesterday I was outside and was looking, look here, all these buds are dormant. Not a single plant died. Whatever they claim, that is verified. And then I pinch one of the bud and look here, this is green in color. So everything is alive. These are 1-year-old plant. I planted last year. So all the 15 commercial varieties, they are alive in the second year. We already receive episodes of snow. Temperature goes up to -7°C. So everything is fine so far. So their claim for cold hardiness is fine. Other commercial varieties like Russian 18, Selavsky again from Russia, Spanish, sweet, somber. So look here, they all are cold tolerant and cold hardy. Main commercial variety in the United States is wonderful, but this one is not cold tolerant. So there is a problem with that. Orchard design. So we can use 1-year-old cuttings. So best thing is, okay, just take care of these cuttings in the greenhouse or in protected conditions. So plant them always in the second year. They have well-established root. So different orchards, different recommendation, plant to plant and row to row is 18 and 18 feet, then 16 or 18. So, and some people, they are using high density, like plant to plant is just 10 and row to row is 15 feet. So one can plant more than 290 trees per acre. So commercial production will start between 5 to 6, and one can start first harvest by the 3rd year after planting. So it's exactly like we are planting an apple orchard. One have to grow sod and then just kill the line with using any herbicide and then grow the trees in a line. Okay. Pomegranate irrigation and fertigation, as I told you, this is a very drought tolerant crop, but during the initial year you have to take care of this plant. Once it is established, it can tolerate. Of course, you have to provide irrigation, otherwise the size of the fruit remains small. But it's not like the plant will die. So prefer irrigation method is drip irrigation, 1 gallon per hour. When the plant is during the earlier stages, the number of emitters may be increased by 4th or 5th year. So irrigation is on a weekly basis. If you will not provide timely irrigation, this is what will happen. Fruit splitting because of dry and wet episodes. And the problem is when fruit is open like this, it will invite all the bad things, fungi, insects, so that may create trouble. And if you will see, this orchard is established on raised beds. If the water level is high, so raise the soil level by 3 or 4 inches. So in Texas and in some areas in Florida where they have very high water table, so they make raised beds. So that's not a problem. One can grow pomegranate. Fertilizer recommendation, this is from University of Florida by Dr. Monji Jackery. So it's like nitrogen in the initial area is almost 0.5 pounds per tree per year and reaches up to 1 pound per tree per year. Of course, phosphorus and potassium is based upon the recommendation of our nutrient management advisor, or one can take leaves for the analysis of nutrients. Just same like our apple trees don't fertilize after August. What will happen? Because fertilizer will push the buds and the new growth will be there. And now the chilling and freezing is coming and that will kill an entire new flush. So avoid that. Similarly, fertigation, they actually try to split the fertilizer doses. In like March, only provide 5%, then April, May, June, and only up to the August. So one can divide the fertilizer doses. Training and pruning, so one can develop the orchard in the form of a multi-trunk system, single trunk system, or a compromise between two. One can have triple trunk system. So how one can develop these trunk system? Because pomegranate tree is prone to producing large number of suckers. So you can take advantage of those suckers and you can train those suckers as a new limbs or new branches. So sometimes it's up to you, 5 or 6, or you want to train it as a single, or you can compromise just using 3 branches. So why this multi-trunk is preferred? Because we never know what will be the low temperature, and there is a threshold limit is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you have multiple trunks, 2 or 3 dies because of chilling injury, you still have more limbs for the production. But if you have only one, that may be troublesome. That may wipe out your entire orchard. But the best thing is if you have only one, it is easy to maintain, easy to pick, spray less. So there are other advantages if you are using single trunk system. Flowers, so can look here, just like apple. When some of the branches, they become 2 to 3 year old, you will have spurs, and spurs will bear flowers and future fruit. Again, flowering from April, May, June, consistent or in the form of flushes. So there are basically 2 types of flower. This is a bisexual flower. You can see female and the male. So this is actually where the fruit develop. Second type of flower is called functional male flowers. So if you can compare the size of female partner, so it is reduced and it is redundant. It's actually non-functional. But these males, they are functional. The pollens can germinate and produce a pollen tube. So that's why we call them functional male flower. But finally, they will fall on the ground. Only the bisexual flower will develop into future fruit. And sometimes more than 60 or 70% flowers are actually the male functional flower. And we just learned people use flowers for remedies of so many types of illness in human beings. So we can use those male flowers.
So they're self-fruitful? You don't have male and female trees?
There is no need because these are promoted by self-pollination. And regarding root stocks, I didn't find anything, if there is any type of root stock, but I got some reports from Iran. They are trying some of their varieties to use as a root stock. But so far, in our area, there is no such information regarding root stocks. But we have 139 accessions, and we will see in future, can we use them, can we but actually, it will take a lot of time. So first of all, there will be a screening, they will survive under cold condition or not, how the fruits or fruit or flavor characteristics are there, and then somehow we are able to select, hey, look, these are very bad in fruit production, but they are good in root production or something like that. So we can select those type of varieties out of those 139, and then we can try budding or grafting and see what happens. But it's a long-term plan. Some of the diseases, and we have no idea what indigenous diseases we have in our area, so we will plant next year and this year in the field, and we will see what attacks. So these are some of the cercospora and fungal diseases reported in Georgia and Texas. And even in some of the places, there is no recommendation of fungicides for them because the production is so less. Harvest and maturity. So most of the time, these varieties ripened by the time of August to early November. So based upon acid percentage should be less than 1.85, sugar should be greater than 16 to 17%, TSS, sugar and acid ratio should be greater than 18.5. And if you are an expert, just tap the fruit and you can see some metallic noise. That means fruit is ready to harvest. These are for experts. So there is no need of all sugar and acid estimation. Just by metallic thing is enough. Storage, we can store under open air storage for 6 weeks, controlled atmosphere, where you can reduce increase carbon dioxide or oxygen manipulation for 5 months. Short-term storage for 3 weeks at 41 degree Fahrenheit, for long term, so 45 degrees. So that means we can store them up to 5 months. So shelf life is good. Yield, so by 4th year, the plants can produce more than 10 pounds per tree. By 10th years, you have 50 pounds per tree. In a well-managed orchard, people are getting 75 pounds per tree. And this is this is the recommendation from University of Florida. They observed 10 to 15 tons per acre. And thanks and question. And look here, this is how this POM wonderful. So they celebrated 20th anniversary of their birth. And their business, they started from 100 acres 20 years ago. Now they have 9,000 acreage in California. and their business is around 200 million. So they are actually branding pomegranate. And as I already explained, these three companies, and they import this fruit from other states or other countries. So this is an opportunity for us. Why not to try it? And we just learned more than 50% farms, they are growing pomegranate just less than 1 acre. 140 farms, 145 farms in California, just 1 to 5 acres. There is only a few farms with 5,000 acres or something very large. So one can start with the small acreage, and we are going to screen all those 139 varieties in next coming years at UMS. And if you want to participate, let us know. We can take advantage of your land. If you have a small area, we can plant some of those varieties to screen. And one more thing, I'm a Northeast Share Coordinator, so participatory grant is advertised. If you want to work with any county extension agent or a faculty member, you can participate. The grant is for 1 to 2 years, and grant provides $30,000 if you want to conduct any research. In addition to that, we are going to submit a cut flower grant to the specialty crop block grant if you are interested in cut flowers. Commercial cut flowers, participate with us. We will submit this grant by the end of next month. So we are looking for folks with high tunnels because we want to extend the season of these cut flowers. And there are only a few, 4 or 5 different kinds of commercial flowers where we cannot compete. That means they have a small shelf life, and we hardly import them. So that's the opportunity. We can grow those 5 different kinds of flowers. Something like dahlia, one of our choice. And if you are interested, participate with us. We will submit the grant, and we will use your high tunnel to grow those flowers. Flowers belongs to you, sell it. We will be there to just take the data. And we'll see how, because we actually need 3 replicates, one at UMES, and I just talked to Mr. Chris if you have some high tunnel here, so we can conduct our second replicates, and we are looking for a farmer with a high tunnel. Thank you very much. If you have questions. Yes, sir.
So do you have any fruiting trees yet?
No, these are just 2-year-old. So this is just the beginning. But yeah, this year we will plant in the field.
Your trees are cold hardy?
I don't know, but all the sessions I selected from the places where there is a very, very low temperature. So I believe, but we have to test. All these 60 in my greenhouse, no one can believe on that greenhouse. So they really experience actually very low temperature. So I believe they are cold hardy.
Interesting, but I just look at the fungicides available for that crop. There are not many fungicides available. It makes sense because it's such a minor crop. And bacteria, like bacterial swamp, can be a crop. So it's our anyway.
I have the Russian pomegranate, and I bought it last year. As it fruited last year, I threw it in the ground. I don't baby things. I did some Google garden where I put some wood on, in the dirt, and I just put manure around it, and it flourished. I have really heavy soil, heavy clay soils, and I did nothing to it, and it flourished.
Awesome.
And it's huge. It's
Yeah,
huge.
just
It did
train
really
them.
well. I was impressed, and so I will nurture it a little bit. And then I got fruit. I didn't even know I had fruit on it, and I found the fruit, and it was even cracked open, and it was still good. The fruit was tiny, like half the size that you buy in the stores, but it was still delicious.
Yeah, just don't take baby from a baby. So let the plant grow.
Yeah, I was very pleased with it.
Yes, ma'am.
So what variety is growing on Smith Island? My in-laws are dentists, and they used to take the ferry from St. Mary's County, which there are a lot of pomegranates in St. Mary's County as well. Take the ferry over to Smith Island, spend a weekend doing everybody's teeth, and they would pay them with baskets of pomegranates. I remember they were small, but they were all over the place. And so what is over there?
You mean what varieties we can grow in Smith Island? I can't say now because that's just beginning of my experiment. So we will plant and let's see in coming years. But yeah, we have commercial.
We're going to go ahead and do
when
But
I-
we have commercial varieties and all these 15s, they are growing wonderfully at my home. No damage, no chilling damage. We got already 7C in the January and a snow episode, so everything. I was worried because, I invested money in 15 varieties. And I was thinking, they are just claiming, but no, it's fine. They are cold hardy, nothing, because all the buds are dormant, they are green. Let's see. Yes, sir.
What's the fruit count on a mature tree? What is the fruit count? on
More
a
than
mature
250
tree?
per tree. 250, 250.
250.
More than that, yeah.
I think those pictures were deceiving that they showed. That was probably in California. Where
Yeah, the plant reaches up to 12 to 15 feet. The only thing is you have to train, and this is like a managed orchard.
Yeah, the Russian has a much smaller fruit.
We will see everything in coming years. What happens to these varieties?
So we don't have to buy a male and a female, they're on the same plant.
Yeah, there is no male and female. Yeah.
Because the nurseries are saying, you need a male plant too. So are they trying to sell me two plants?
Sometimes I feel they hardly know anything. If you go, they will sell you an apple tree, which is a male stripe, and you keep waiting. They have no idea about root stock. So,
They didn't have a lot of information. You need two.
so the only thing is always purchase from reputed commercial nurseries. That's they a little bit expensive, but yeah, you can believe. Thank you.